Have you ever said yes to something you didn't want to just to avoid drama or guilt? In this week's episode of Teen Talk Central, we're talking about the power of saying no, setting boundaries as a teen, and how important they can be. Boundaries actually are mental, emotional, physical, and digital. And I think that building them on early in life can help build self-respect and protect mental health. If this is something that sounds interesting to you, definitely continue to listen to this week's episode of Teen Talk Central. Hey guys, it's Mia. Welcome back to another episode. So, as you just heard, we're learning about the power of saying no today. First, I feel like we should start off with why is saying no so hard? I think a lot of people think that no is not even an option when it comes to answers. I think there's a lot of peer pressure that can be built around it and the fear of missing out, or I'm going to call it FOMO in this episode. I think that you don't want to be seen as like quote unquote a loser for not going out or not doing this, hanging out with your friends. And I think you might have the fear of like losing your friends because you're not wanting to hang out with them or do the same things that they're doing all the time. And I want people to know that it's completely okay. And I think another thing is, especially when it comes to like family or like very close cultural expectations, saying no can also be very hard. And at least for me, I've kind of conditioned myself to be the nice girl. You might be conditioning yourself to be the nice guy that's always down to do anything. So it's like you don't want to let other people down, and you think by letting people down, it's like by you saying no. And I think there's a difference between being kind and being a people pleaser. I think being a people pleaser is more about just doing everything because other people expect you to do so, and even if you don't actually want to do it. And then there's being the kind person, which is like truly doing it out of the kindness of your heart because you want to do it, not because you feel like you're forced to, or like you don't feel like actually doing it. Yeah, I think a real life example for a lot of people could be like online when you share photos without permission, or pressuring you to always be available, and that's something that your friends are doing to you. I think that that is not okay. And if, for example, they share a photo of you without your permission, um, and you didn't really give consent to it, you're like, okay, that's a little bit uncomfortable. Or in friendships, when your friends are guilt tripping you for not helping them cheat or lie or ditch responsibilities. I think that's something a lot of teens can relate to, and they just kind of do it because they don't want to lose that friend, which is also not very good. Maybe in school, saying yes to too many extracurriculars, because I don't know about you guys, but I'm currently a junior in high school, so like there's a lot of pressure about doing a lot of things just to make your application look good to colleges instead of actually doing stuff that you personally enjoy. And if you say yes to extracurriculars or study groups because you don't want to let people or your application down, then you're also causing this like self-tiredness. You're just causing this self-tiredness in yourself, and you're not doing things because you truly want to. Now, let's talk about what healthy boundaries actually look like. So I use the statements like, hey, like I'm tired, I need some time to myself today, or hey, I'm not comfortable with that, or that doesn't work for me. I think these are the three like most used terms that are also very understandable to other people. And if they don't understand, then that is not okay. And maybe you don't want to be friends with them anymore if they don't understand that you need some alone time as well. And I don't think boundaries require over explaining or apologies. I think that you should just be straightforward with them, and you don't have to keep saying, I'm so sorry, I'm so sorry, I'm so sorry. Like, it's up to you. And if they make you feel like you have to apologize over and over again, I would maybe rethink the friendship situation that I'm in. And I want people to know that healthy people actually respect your limits. And if they get angry, again, that's a very big red flag in that friendship. And I think you need to understand that if someone doesn't value you for your time and they're always mad that you can't hang out with them last minute or do something for them last minute, it's very unhealthy for yourself to continue to say yes because you're mentally exhausting yourself. Here are my step-by-step how to set a boundary, the 3 A's of boundaries that I personally follow myself. Number one is awareness. You should notice yourself when you feel drained, anxious, or resentful. These are kind of like boundary violation clues for yourself, because you may not think that your boundaries are being like kind of violated, but if you can notice these signs, and you can kind of sit down and reflect. Next is assertiveness. Use short, honest, and respectful language. Practice your tone and body language, because again, those two are like very important when it comes to just having a conversation with someone, especially when you're turning down something. Again, you can use the phrases like, hey, I need some time to myself today, or I'm not comfortable, that doesn't work for me, sorry, like I'm really tired, stuff like that. And then last is action. If somebody ignores your boundaries, follow through with the consequence. That, in my case, would be spending less time with them, not responding to their texts, muting them, limiting their access that they have to you, because they, as a friend, they should be respecting your time that you want to say, hey, I want to hang out, or hey, I don't want to hang out. And that is a really big difference in your impact and mental health. I would personally do these in-person conversations, and texting and DMing, I think I would keep it very minimal, like, because again, anything that you text online will be saved online forever. And if someone's trying to gaslight you or guilt you into something, I would personally just either step away from the conversation, or if you're like texting them or something, just like exit the chat, mute the chat, and just don't look at it, because that's kind of also a cue that like, hey, I'm not interested in what you're talking about anymore. So I want you guys to tell me about a time that you said no and changed something, and it changed something for you and in you, and maybe a relationship that you had with someone. Maybe it's a time that you stepped up for yourself. Personally, I've done it a lot where I'm just like super tired or really exhausted, and a friend reached out and was like, hey, you want to hang out? I'm like, sorry, like I'm really busy or I'm really tired, and they understand. And then also I have friends who are like, hey, like we were planning on hanging out, but it seems so tired, like I don't know if I can hang out. And it's like, okay, totally fine, I understand, and we can hang out another time, because hang out with my friends, I love it, but also I'm gonna respect their boundaries, because I don't want to push them and then make them super tired to where they don't want to hang out with me again. So here are some final thoughts. Boundaries are not walls, because just because you say no one time doesn't mean you're saying no forever, right? They're more of filters. They help you choose what and who you allow into your life. And they protect your peace, energy, and self-worth, which I feel like we're all working on in 2025. And then therapy and trusted adults can definitely help you work through guilt, fear, or trauma around boundaries. And you can slowly work up to learning how to say no. So here's a little challenge I have for you guys. Set one boundary this week and journal it or DM the pod about how it went. Ask listeners to vote. So, if you are listening with other people, ask them to vote on how many times you want to say no this week to certain events or whatever, and whoever gets the most could, maybe get a treat or something. And you guys can also send in future experiences for a future episode. And if this helped you, share it with a friend who needs to stop over explaining as well. And remember that saying no, it does not mean you're weak. It just means that you need to take a break for yourself. And it's really important to keep yourself sane. And next week, maybe we'll be talking a little bit more about summer, because it will be summer break for me. I don't know about you guys yet. But yeah, I hope you guys had an amazing week this week. Have another amazing week in the next week. And I love you guys so much. And tune back in next Sunday for another amazing episode of Teen Talk Central. Bye, guys.